Hey guys, welcome to the Struggle Bus, where every wheel is an empty triangle. Today we have our third game in the bus ride series, and we're still learning the best way to approach these games. And I realized after my last game that I wasn't keeping things very basic, and so we are going to focus on keeping things a little more basic so that the rules are easier to follow, especially when I'm implementing them. And we will see how it goes. And maybe we will learn a thing or two about how to approach these games in this game. Today we are playing against a 10K on OGS, and I think you guys will be fairly impressed with his level of play. I know I sure was impressed with his level of play, and I think this game may surprise you a little bit. So enjoy the game. Let's get into it. Okay, so we are playing against a 10K. We're focusing on the basics, which we have on the left of the screen now. So we will be taking the corners, and then we were going to keep things nice and simple this game, or at least attempt to. So this is kind of a weird move. So we can look at blocking in either direction. I'm actually just going to block this way, and if he plays, we're going to Hane here. And this is pretty simple, right? Nice, easy rule to follow is to Hane at the head of 2. I'm going to extend one more time, and then I'm going to Hane at the head of 2 here. Again, nice and simple shape. It keeps him, it constricts his liberties and his directions to move, and he makes good shape here. And all I'm going to do now is protect this cut with some shape, and so I'm just going to play the tiger's mouth there. It's slow, but it's strong, and it protects that cut. And he tanukis us, and so we're just going to approach the last corner here. And I usually like splitting the 2 corners, so we're just going to approach from the inside here. And he ignores and approaches this. We will respond to it. We're just going to back off and see what he wants to do with that corner. And now he responds down here, and he pincers us. And so we've got 2 choices when we get pincered. We can jump out, or we can go jump in the 3-3. 3-3 is easier, and so that's what we're going to do. And we treat this like a normal 3-3, and he goes and covers that stone, so he allows us to yet again Hane at the head of 2, and so that's what we're going to do. This will give black a better result than the top left, though. We will extend, and we will block here. So this looks like a fairly even result for both players. We could look at extending over here, but we're fine for now. If he cuts here, we'll be able to ladder him down. So what I'm going to do now is go approach this corner, but he's a little stronger here, so we're going to back off a little bit. We're going to play a little further away, and we'll play here, just respecting his strength there. He kicked us, so we're going to extend. And he pushed up, and we're just going to go make a base. And normal variations, we're used to extending 3 spaces away from our 2 stones, but since he's got strength on both sides, we're just going to keep it a little closer here, just for some extra strength. And he kicks here as well. So we can consider this Hane. And if we do, and he cuts, we can Atari and then connect and look at taking influence. And that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to Hane here, because I don't like the shape that happens if we extend and he extends. So hopefully he backs off, and then we can just connect, and everything is good. Now we're nice and strong. We've got a base potentially, and so he's looking to surround us. And so I'm just going to jump out here. That way he doesn't surround us as easily. And since we're coming off of 2 stones, we can extend 2 spaces. He's looking to cut, and so I'm just going to come back here just to make sure our stones are connected. And here, so he does a 1-space jump, but it's off of our 2 stones, so we can consider cutting immediately. What I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to just slide back. That'll make this cut a little tougher for him to deal with. And he does Tanuki it. And so this cut is here, and we're going to save it for later. We are going to respond to this move, and I'm just going to fully secure this corner. And he backs off. So he's now got a lot of space here. We see this space that's a little wide. We're going to play here just to separate his stones. And so he jumps out. We're going to jump out as well. It gets us strength. It keeps up with those stones. This corner is nice and safe for now. And then he goes and strengthens at this side. And so we're just going to jump out one more time just to keep our strength. Right? The whole goal here was just to break in here, keep these stones separated. And so we are still doing that. So he attaches here, and our shape point is this tiger's mouth. The question is, do we have to respond to this move? And I don't think we do have to respond to this move. I'm going to, but we don't actually need to respond to this because this isn't Sente. His follow-up is probably the Atari, and then we can connect. But we will play this. It does open up the double Atari here, so I suspect he's going to extend, which he does. But this isn't a very good exchange for black. He was already alive, and now he gives us Sente. So looking at this, we can continue strengthening these, or we can go extend to try to get the left side. To keep it simple, I think we're going to strengthen these stones while weakening these 2. And so we're just going to look at capping these 2 stones. And that's what we're going to do. It threatens to disconnect these, and he attaches, which is a pretty good response. And so we are going to extend to threaten this cut. And then we're just going to connect here. We don't want anything cut in here, because there is a peep here and here. So we're going to do this, which will fix that cut there. Also threatens his cut. And we will now play this. Again, the whole point was to get strength for this group. And so these 2 stones do strengthen this group, and we were able to secure our corner. And to keep it simple, we are just going to play the tiger's mouth. I expect him to Atari. He did not. He extended. This is a better move than the Atari. And so we will keep on pushing. He should Hane here, Hane at the head of 2. But he does have to be a little careful because his group isn't alive yet. So he did not play the Hane at the head of 2, so we are going to, and we will play this here. What's nice about the Hane at the head of 2 is we can double Hane because it opens up this double Atari. So we can double Hane, and then we can connect. And so the question is, do we want to connect solidly this way, or with the double tiger's mouth? And we're going to use the double tiger's mouth. This does leave 2 peeps open that black can take. If black plays here, we have to connect. If black plays here, we have to connect. But it's a good means of protecting both of our cuts, and it's important that we indeed protect our cuts. Talking about cuts, this cut is still here, and it might be time to turn it on. But first, I'm going to take this extension. This left side is the largest area on the board. This isn't Sente, right? Our group is fine and healthy. So let's go take a big area on the board. And he attaches to our stone. We are just going to, we can connect, which really threatens that cut. And we are going to protect this. We can look at that cut isn't going to do anything. It'll force him to connect, but I think this is larger. And we are going to finally cut this stone now. This isn't big, but it keeps us fully connected, and he had to fix this cut because otherwise we get the Atari and we can get that stone. So now looking at this board, we've got a pretty good side here. We've got a good corner here. We've got a good corner here. Black has a pretty good side, a large corner, and this side. So it is likely time to start playing endgame type moves. We can look at enlarging this, but I'm going to play e2 first. And it is an endgame move, but it will fully secure this into a living group, not that it was in any danger before. This gives us a good secondary follow-up at d1, but I suspect he's going to play away here. And he does, and he takes this peep. So here, the question is, do we care about this stone? Because if we protect here, he's going to push down. So I am actually going to give up that one stone and connect here. He's going to Atari, and we're going to connect. He does not Atari us. So in this situation, I am going to connect. It threatens a cut, and so that is why I'm going to do this. And he did leave a cut here. And the other ones I did not take immediately, but this one is too big of a cut to ignore, so I am going to take this cut. So we will go this way, and we'll be able to run towards our stones, because he has to fix this cut eventually. And so we can keep on going. And he does eventually fix the cut. And so we can look at just playing this diagonal. We can also look at turning here. I'm going to play the diagonal. I do not believe he can cut us there. We do have this elephant eye, but we can push along, and it will be fine. So he's looking to build this up a little bit, and there really aren't that many points to be had here. So let's go take this endgame move. And we will follow it up. And we will take this endgame move. And I think we can look at playing this diagonal. We can also look at playing this endgame move. And we might just be in that phase of the game now. And we can push one more time. And same thing, connect. And we can look at reducing here, but we don't actually have too much to build up for us. And I don't think he'll respond to that move. He shouldn't respond to that move, so we're not going to play it. So now we can look at J2. It threatens a fairly large monkey jump. And I believe that monkey jump is larger than this one stone. So that's what we're going to play. And we will connect. And is this Sente? Well, this certainly is Sente, because otherwise we're able to connect. So we can play this. And this move will not be Sente. So let's push here, and then we will Hane to threaten getting into here. And we will extend here to threaten to get in. And we will descend, which threatens another monkey jump, and also the first line Hane, which is going to be a nice endgame move. This is an interesting move. I like this. We are just going to make sure we can't get cut off now. So we will play here to stay connected. And we will do this monkey jump. We threatened it, he didn't block it, and so now we're going to take this monkey jump. And we can probably do a little more damage, but we'll just leave that for now. And we can go take this endgame move. And let's test him. Let's see if we can trick him with this. Black is playing very strong this game. And so we can Atari here because he's got too many cuts. Too many cuts. And we can Atari these 2 stones, and then go and capture these 3 stones. And so this is an interesting move. We can just look at capturing these 3. He's looking at this cut, but it's not going to work because we can Atari here and then descend. So looking at this one might very well come down to endgame. He is playing exceptionally well. We're going to push here. We are going to play S1. It is large endgame, especially with these stones here. And we are going to keep his liberties down. He can Atari us, but he's never going to be able to get more than 2 liberties. Our next big end game is continuing this monkey jump, I believe. And we can look at just pushing here. And so at this point, the game is pretty much done. Our friend has played, again, exceptionally well. So at this point, I think we can skip to the end and take a look at what went well with the game and what did not go well with the game. Okay, so here we are at the end of the game, and something really funny happened here. Looking at this, it's almost like Black won this game. It's almost like that top right corner died, and then I got a little silly and missed this Atari during a co-fight. Though honestly, once that top corner died, Black was up by 2 points. So says AI. So, yeah, that just happened. And that's honestly okay. Our friend here really he played really, really well this entire game. You know, I was keeping my cool on camera, but internally I was thinking, I was like, this guy's playing well. That's all there is to it. So with that said, we can still do a quick review of the game and see what went well and what didn't. And so nothing too crazy here. This isn't a weird approach, right? Black's obviously going to get influence out of this, but I wouldn't suggest this. I don't see any results, any good results coming from Black here. Obviously, we are used to the normal approaches from the 3rd or 4th line. This one's just seems a little off. I think honestly we can block either way, and it is fine. I chose to block this way because I suspected that I would be able to turn and get the corner. But honestly, this works just as well because it's going to be something similar regardless of where Black goes. We can slide here. It's going to be a similar result. I decided to go this way. So and then we got the Hane here. Black makes good shape. And so I decided to make good shape here to protect the cut. And then Black tanukis and we play here. This was the first move of the game that let me know that something, that it wasn't going to be what I expected this game to be. I was not expecting a 10K player to ignore this move. It's perfectly ignorable in games that I play, right? My league games. I do not expect my opponents to respond to this move. I would expect a move like this, but from a 10K, I would not expect this move. So this one got a little internal head tilt from the bus driver. So I decided to back off, and then he did this pincer. Again, very much not moves that I would expect from the players that we play in this series. These, other than this corner, these moves are indicating that he is playing well this game. So we just jumped into the 3-3 and took this Hane. But again, this result seems fine for Black, honestly. It seems fine for both players. And so we took our Tanuki, he kicked. And here, he probably should have pincered. I fully expected a kick and pincer here. Just something like this to force White to run while Black gets to develop the side here. Playing this is a little too overconcentrated. Black's corner is already fine with these 3 stones. I don't think he needs to make it any stronger. And so I would look at playing either J3 or J4, a pincer of some sort. Maybe J3 is easier to fully secure this and force White to run. This allows White to get a base here. I could have played this, but just wanted to keep it simpler and avoid any complications, especially with Black having strength on both sides. And he kicked here, and we took the Hane. Again, I didn't want to to give this exchange. We're a little crunched here. And so I took the Hane, he came back, and I connected. This is just a locally a cleaner result than the other variation. And he jumped and we jumped. And that is fine. He threatened to disconnect, and we connected, and he played here, and we gave him one answer. And so part of this is, again, I want to keep this basic, so I want to answer moves when we're pressured, but it's not like this is a slack move, right? Black is playing very well here. And so he goes to reduce the potential on our right side, and we then go take the corner to make sure there are no shenanigans there. Good thing no shenanigans happened there later, right, guys? And then he played this, which is a little too far from this stone. So in this situation, black has pretty good strength over here with these stones. And he's got this one single stone. So I'd expect black to play a little closer to his weaker stone and farther from his strength. Generally, we want to play a little further away from our strength. So here, I would expect black to just take a 2-point extension and go to try to build larger territory over here, or larger potential rather, while maintaining a base. He could even look at this, but even this is a little too wide off of this stone with white's strength over here. So we just decided to jump in immediately, and then we just started chasing each other. But in this situation, white only has one group to worry about, black has 2 groups to worry about. And here, this is a good shape point for black, but it's not sente. And again, in game I mentioned that I would ignore this move, even if it's just something as simple as taking an extension. But here, I would probably be looking at cutting these 2 stones, probably with a move like this, right? Again, we need to look at protecting our cuts. But I decided we'll answer his move. It turns on this double Atari, and so I expected black to extend here, which he did, and this is a fine exchange for white. And then we go in and threaten the cut here. We could have taken a harder approach at the cut. I just wanted to poke it a little bit while getting strength for here. And he attached, we extended, and then we protected our cut here, while also turning on the cut at P14. So he protects with good shape, and we come back and we get the tiger's mouth. This was another move that showed me that black was playing pretty well this game. I expected this move, and in that case, I would have connected, but we don't need to. We can extend, and if black captures, we can just play here. We always have the ko if needed, so it's going to be tough for black to properly cut us here. And so we're pretty much connected, and we got a free move off of it. But he extended, which was a better direction. So he pushed, he turned, and then I believe we Haned at the head of 2. Again, this is a good way of gaining strength. We did end up not killing these stones, but because of this Hane and the cut that gets turned on here, we were able to kill the 3 stones that end up on the right side here. Again, we can double Hane, because if black tries something like this, we have this double Atari here. And so yes, black can capture that, but then we get the trade here. So we took the double Hane, and then we did a double tiger's mouth to again stay connected to protect our cuts. And black jumped here again, a small move, and I believe I did not respond to this one, and finally took a bait, extended here, and he attached, which is fine, attaching to a strong stone. I didn't realize it in the game, because honestly I wasn't looking at it, but black's group here is pretty weak and it doesn't have any eyes yet. So black's group is very much not alive. So this was good on black to get some forcing moves to get alive. And it was at this point that I decided to take this cut just to make sure we were fully connected up and not have to worry about this group for the rest of the game. And so we took that cut, and then again, and now he has to protect to this cut, otherwise he will lose that stone. If he plays elsewhere, then we get this, which isn't huge. We probably wouldn't take it right now, but it's something that needs to be done. So black corrected it right now, and then we transitioned into endgame, because to me it didn't look like there was too much in the center. Again, I wasn't looking at attacking this group, and so I was just playing endgame moves. Here, I find this is a good peep. I liked this peep by black, but I'm really surprised that he didn't continue and take this and then maybe play a move like this. So instead he came back and let us connect and let us cut this, which is this is a pretty big cut. Though it didn't end up turning too much into this game, this could have gotten pretty dangerous for black. And so we go along here. And at this point, white is solidly ahead this game. But then, sometimes we get a little sloppy. And so maybe we need to stay a little sharper on these games, because what ended up happening is after we play all this endgame, and I even played a shape move here to make sure that when he Hane'd that we could respond without it being Sente for us. All this goes through, and eventually I don't respect when black takes this liberty, because I had read it out but didn't spend a ton of time reading it, and I had put these 2 stones in Atari, and I did a quick life and death read and said we're fine here, and so I captured the 2 stones, and he played here, and I played the move that I had read out and connected here. But at this point things get a little hairy, and I was too hasty here. Here I just need to sacrifice those 3 stones, and then we get it. We do so in Sente. But that's not what we did. That's not what we did. We captured the 1 stone for reasons. And our friend, who apparently is better at life and death than I am, then went and killed the group. And it was at this point that I was like, oh boy, I think we're losing this game. And it's close. It's within a couple points, but it's not good. It's not good. He caught us. He caught us really good. And then we then progressed to a 1-point ko to end the game, and I foolishly misread this ko threat. So that's not a threat, because I can always just Atari this, even though we've only got 2 liberties. And so I filled the ko and lost the game. But regardless, even without this slip up, this guy just played really, really, really well. And so I want to congratulate him. Definitely makes me think a little harder on how I need to approach these games. So anyway, thank you for coming on a quite hilarious bus ride today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you for coming for another ride on the struggle bus, where every wheel is an empty triangle. Have a good one, guys. Before I let you guys go, I want to thank all of my Patreons. I greatly appreciate your support. And if you are interested in getting teaching games and or reviews, or just want to look to support the channel, check out the Patreon. I have some good rewards there, and they're nice and affordably priced. Either way, you don't need to do it. Just watching the videos is enough. So thanks for coming out for another ride in the struggle bus, where every wheel is an empty triangle. Have a good one, guys.